I'm really excited to meet you, talk to you. It's definitely like a weird time happening right now, and obviously we're all aware of what's going on. But I just want to ask, like, in general, how are you holding up? How are you, like, self-care tips, I guess, because we all have to kind of find something to not get us through the day, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking about this a bit today because um, this time, first the lockdown, so that's one start to the craziness that's this year. But with that, like, I've learned so much about what I need to do to be happy, and it's definitely looking after myself, because even in this lockdown, I definitely have had the odd Zoom party that's gotten out of hand and a whole bottle of gin's been consumed, and then I'm just paying for it the next day. And like, that's not me. Like, that is not me looking after myself. So that was the first sort of like lesson in figuring out what do I need to do in this to actually feel good. And then with everything that's been going on for unfortunately centuries, but now has actually been finally shone a torch on, it's made me really even more like get to sleep and wake up and like just be active as possible. Because if I was to just carry on partying my troubles away right now, how would I be helping at all? Because although it's a humble platform, I do have one, and I just feel like it's an opportunity to help spread awareness to my fans of everything that's going on. So really just like not having silly, like, you know, amounts of alcohol, and just, you know, taking a bath when I can, speaking to my community and my friends and family, and just like, yeah, I think I've never wanted to make a positive difference more than now, and that for me is taking care of myself and loving from within, because when we do, then we can help love others. So
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Uh, it's interesting for me because I'm here in LA in West Hollywood. West Hollywood was wild on Saturday night a couple days ago. But I mean, this is something that's been happening, and especially in America. I'm from Texas, also. Like, I've been seeing this kind of thing happening since I've been little, since before I can even remember. But it's wild to me that this movement is spreading. Um, like, people are protesting in London and Paris and around the world. Um, yeah, I guess what's your experience like with these protests? 'Cause I know I saw you went to one on Instagram, but what has your experience been like at the protests?
um so yesterday was the first protest I've ever been to.
Mm,
um I'm a strong supporter of looking after our planet as well, but I haven't been able to make it to one of those protests yet. Yesterday, uh, I don't know, my gut was just like, I know that everyone's worried about being close to people at the moment, but we were just very vigilant. You know, we wore our masks, and um, there was a moment where all I could hear was cars beeping and people like screaming encouragement out of their cars, and everyone just like cheering. And I was so overwhelmed with like this feeling of hope that is so hard to feel at the moment. And I just felt like I was in a big family of Londoners. Like, we literally love you guys so much. Like, we love America. We feel so glad when you guys like us, like musically, you know, actor wise, any sort of creative way. And I personally look up to so many American artists. So we're in it with America, you know, we want to make this global. And it was just beautiful. It was, and the thing is, it's funny because some people will say, they'll react and say, oh, that looked a bit, oh, that a bit scary, oh, was it kicking off? And it's like, your outside perception can be so wrong, and also what the media try to say about it. So I feel very blessed that over here we're not allowed guns, you know, and we've been okay, and it's been peaceful.
yeah, it's weird over here, and especially like I've only been in LA for a few years, so it's me still trying to figure out the city, and so I was kind of waiting to watch what was going to happen first, and then, but I will be
Yeah.
going to a protest like sponsored by LA Pride in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And just I don't want to just try and take care of myself like my mom's asking me to.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
yeah.
That's the thing. Like every parent right now is just like, yo, I know that you want to make a stand, but I want you to come home. So it's like it's that balance, knowing what's right and wrong. But again, vigilance, and I really hope that that one that you're going to is just a lovely, peaceful moment.
Mm,
What
same.
made you move to LA? Was it only for work, or you'd had enough of Texas?
um, well, I always knew I wanted to live here. I knew I wanted to work in entertainment, and I love music so much. Music is really my focus here. I work for Pride.com, and I do like all LGBTQ topics. But I just love music, and it's such a huge part of my life. So it's like whenever I get to talk to any musician, I'm just like ah. Yeah, and I knew I wanted to live here even in like high school. So I applied for jobs and I was trying to get out and I got this one and I was like, bye Texas, packed up my car in 2 weeks, drove
Oh.
21 hours.
And
um,
which part of Texas?
I'm from Houston and then I went to college in Austin, Texas. So yeah,
Okay.
Houston, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, we're all obsessed.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Because I didn't get to visit either of those. I only went to Dallas on my tour in
Hmm.
November. But I loved the Texas crowd.
Yeah, we are, because people forget, and Texas has a stereotype, right? But people forget there are a lot of people of color there. There are a lot of like LGBTQ people. There are like tons of, especially POC, and you can really find a community there. Like it's not all just like white conservative small town. Like there's so many people. So it's like Texas is really gonna, especially over the next few years, change the demographic. I think it really could be pushed blue, honestly. Um, but I won't get too into politics. But I didn't hate Texas as much as people think, like assume that I did. Like I do like it. There's a lot of community there that I found. But yeah, I definitely knew that I wanted to be here, so here I am. But yeah, okay. So Quarantine Queen, I re-listened to it this morning and I actually found it very like healing. Like I watched the video and it felt healing. It's a peaceful kind of song talking about the times that we're going on. I'm assuming it was about more about Corona, but now it even applies to what we're going through right now. So I guess I just want to talk to you about that and how that healing kind of vibe and what you were trying to do with the song.
Okay. Yeah. So I wrote it in the first 2 weeks of lockdown, and um, my my sort of more surface and yet, but it is deep to me, message from it was about, oh no, I'm gonna die alone. That's what I thought. Like, thought, this is the apocalypse, and I haven't met the one. There ain't no ring on this finger, so what am I gonna do? And then, like, the deeper meaning for me was like, what have we done? Like, how have we been living? Because obviously this has been a chance to reflect, and look at the way that we're treating the planet. And so the middle eight, which is talking about this is a time for a change, uh, and like if we don't actually look at ourselves, we're just going to keep going round in the circle. Which, of course, that applies to what's going on now. I think the reason that I've never really spoken about a specific event is because it's so hard to write a song that way. I feel like for me, it like it writes itself, and this song is the first time I've spoken about the world, it really in a song, and I liked that I was able to do that, and that now you know, my fans are feeling a comfort from it. That's amazing. But yeah, it came from just it was a really reflective, well, like as a whole, all of us feeling when I wrote it, and I just had to get it out. There's this TED Talks by a woman called Elizabeth who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. I can't remember her surname right now, but she talks about how as artists, we're just like the vessel, and the inspiration comes in and we have to like just let it go and not judge it. And for me, it was just like I had to get it out, that song, and then I could maybe start like healing myself.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
I like that. Like getting that feeling out before you judge it. Interesting.
Yeah, I love that TED Talks, by the way. I have to send it to you after, because if you're ever having like a moment, like a block, it really helps remind you that like we just have to go with it when we're feeling that way, and that the inspiration does come back eventually.
Mm, I love that. Yes, please send it to me.
Yeah, I will. We've
uh,
got the chat in here actually, so I can send it before we leave.
oh yeah, we do. I barely know how Zoom works, honestly.
No, but have you seen some of the funny like videos where people have forgotten that the camera's still on? And
Yes, but I some of them I'm like, is this real? Can this be? Is this? I don't know. And some of them are just so secondhand embarrassing that I'm just like, oh my god. Like
yeah,
people on newscasts and things, and
yeah, I think the toilet one was real. I don't know if the more uh, more shifty one was real, but yeah, that's all I really know about Zoom from the memes.
and a lot of SNL memes. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask. Okay, in this video, you're wearing this green crop top, and I wanted to know if I could borrow it.
Of course you can. When
Okay.
I when I come to LA, when I'm allowed to come back, I'm gonna bring it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would collapse. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, so some kind of fun questions. What was the first concert you've ever been to? You ever went to?
The first memory I have is Christina Aguilera,
Yes.
but it was like the era of Ain't No Other Man. So
Mm,
it was like kind of sassy.
yeah.
Um, the visuals that she had were very like risque, and but the voice was just. When I was younger, I used to try to sing like her. Like I'd do the whole, and then I'd be like, no, that's not me. But I just loved like impersonating was really how I learned to sing.
Yeah.
Uh, if I wasn't trying to be her, I was trying to be Britney, and if I wasn't trying to be Britney, I was trying to be Etta James. Like so, yeah, it was Christina. That's the first one I remember. Or the Spice Girls, actually. I feel like I may have seen them when I was little, but my memory's bad.
No, yeah, they're definitely like I have some that are all blurry, and I'm like I don't really know which one I went to first, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
so funny. I love Christina. That was a great era, also. The
Oh, yeah.
Candyman.
I know. Her voice is just mad. She really has done some of the best live performances. For me, she's up there with some of the best. Like some of my favorites that when I see them live, I'm just like the singers,
Yes,
Jane Hudd,
yes,
Christina. Also, I never got to see her, but Celine Dion is sick.
yes, an
Like,
icon.
her vocal is lit, and obviously Queen Bee. I wish that I could have seen Lauryn Hill, but oh no, I did see Lauryn Hill, but I saw her. I saw her when she more rapped the songs rather than like sang them.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to see Lauryn Hill. I saw Celine at an event last year that was just completely random, and I was like, "This is like a one in a lifetime, once in a
Yeah,
lifetime kind of thing." It was wild, and she was. I didn't realize how much of like a character she was. Like, she's really funny in person.
yeah, she is. Did she sing "Think Twice"?
No, so it was like to promote the new album that came out last year, I believe. And so
Okay.
she sang just like the hits, like the Titanic song and All by Myself. And then she sang a few songs off the new record.
Okay.
Um, and it was only like 4 or 5 songs, but it was just like unreal. I was like, that's something I never thought that I would see was Celine Dion. Like because I mean she's an icon, but I not like I never really have like sought her out. She's just always there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
I
yeah,
would love to see her sing those big ad libs.
yeah.
The one I think twice is the one when it's like, bye bye. You know which one I mean?
Ooh,
No, no, no. All right, yeah. I
I
just need to see
listened
her.
to it. Oh my gosh, I'm writing it down. A lot
What
of
that?
these songs, a lot of these songs I feel like I know, but I don't know the name of. Like
Yeah, yeah. No, when you listen, you'll know. And when she does that bit, you'll be like, I know what she named meant.
I Okay, let's see what else. What else? Oh, what are you listening to right now? What's on repeat?
Well, hmm, this week I've not been listening much, but one thing that really uplifts me is disco music.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Glitterbox. Okay, so Glitterbox Radio is run by a friend of mine called Melvo Baptiste, and it's like there's just some incredible like church vocals that have been modernized into disco music, and it just is very uplifting. I don't know, I think it was maybe a couple of years ago. I just woke up one day and I was like, yeah, I love disco now. I don't know why, it just happens. So like from things as old school as Young Hearts Run Free to things as modern, like there's a song called So Hooked on Your Lovin'. I need to send you so much, but it uplifts me. And right now we really need some like, right now is not the time for me to get out the Coldplay album. I need upbeat stuff.
Yeah, you're not one of those people that like listens to sad music to feel better.
No,
I do that
not
sometimes.
really. Although when Blonde came out, um, when that came out, I was a little bit more in my feels, and I did listen to it every morning for 2 weeks and sort of let all the emotions out that needed to. But generally, I actually like sad music when I'm happy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess I listen to sad music all. I just like feeling things through music, which is why I like my favorite genre of music I like to say is like dance crying, like the very like dancing on my own bobbing
Right.
kind of songs. So it's like I
Okay.
get those emotions out while like feeling upbeat.
Thank you.
It's fun. Okay, so I want to talk about some of your older music a little bit. Okay, because I first found you with "She Ain't Me," and I was obsessed with that song. And then lately, I've been
Oh,
obsessed with like "Settle" by BAYNK, and you're on that song obviously as well. So I don't know. I just wanted to see because was "She Ain't Me" the beginning of your career? Maybe I should have googled that. But
oh no, I'm here to help and let you know. I feel like the beginning, there's so many beginnings because
yeah.
the first song that was on the radio, on Radio 1, was the one with Disclosure, which is called Boiling, and that was in 2012.
Oh wow.
So mama's, growing up a little bit.
Yeah. Wasn't that the same album that Latch was on, the Sam Smith song?
It was, but it was only included on the deluxe.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, so that's the only way we can hear that. But so that was a beginning because it was like really me bringing me to someone else's wave.
Hmm.
um but I'd say She Ain't Me was kind of the beginning of me going alone, doing stuff alone, but I was still very much um being pulled in different directions because back then I was with different management, and I was kind of a bit, I didn't really have a loud voice. I would listen elsewhere and not know how to. I always wished that I'd had the balls of Amy Winehouse because she never let anyone tell her anything. And like the thing is, I have to take responsibility as well. I shouldn't have been so flimsy. But I guess She Ain't Me was the beginning of me really owning the R&B vocal, the R&B melodies.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, it was, I guess all songs are kind of a beginning, but that was that version of a beginning for me with that one.
Wow. And I think that happens to a lot of people, especially when you first start working in the industry and you want to make it, and then you kind of get pulled in different directions, and because people think this is what's gonna be your thing, and this is gonna be the sound, this is gonna make you successful. That happens to a lot, yeah. I forgot my question. But is it okay? So I think there's a fun difference between like your songs with BAYNK and different producers and stuff versus the songs on your album, especially the last one. Oh, if you let me. So
Oh,
what is it like fun for you to kind of experiment with different sounds and different people and different producers? What is that like for you, that process?
I'm so happy that you know about Settle because I feel like it's quite a particular niche,
Mm.
like BAYNK himself. But yeah, funnily enough, actually, Sam Smith, who I've known from the Disclosure days, he messaged both me and BAYNK and was like, I love this song. And we were like, oh my gosh, how did you discover it? Because like, it wasn't like an overground moment. But yeah, I definitely got like we're so layered as people, right? And I think what comes naturally to me is writing from a painful emotion / like something that's really like hit me in the guts. And so my stuff on my own has often lived in a mid-tempo world. But then with BAYNK, when I met him, he's from New Zealand and his accent just is adorable. And I was just like, I walked in and I was like, yeah, you're my bro. And we were just brother and sister from that moment. And we were just having such a laugh with that song. But the contents of it are still very me. They're still like, yo, what is this? Are we going to call this something, or is this? So I think it's just about collaborating with people where you can still be you, but they bring this either other tempo or this other world to what you do. So I think that's what's a great benefit of collaborating, and I would love to do that for my next album too, because I want to have more colors on it and more vibes, and just make it as eclectic as possible.
Yeah, so I know you have another album coming out this year. Is it this year? I know there's another single coming out this year. Album's coming soon. What can you tell us about the single and or the album?
Well, I think we're learning more each day and each moment how much this year is so unpredictable. And I really have felt this. I've never felt. It's always been about music. It's always been tunnel vision music. But I think we've all realised that the world's problems are so important right now, because this is such a moment to make history, like in the best way. So I haven't really been thinking about my music this week. But what I would say is that I want to grow and evolve more from the last one. And I'd say when the right time is, it will come out. And for me, it's just about delving a little bit deeper. And I feel like the support system that I have is just sick. And it will be so nice to, when I get to LA, because obviously that's been delayed, because I was going to be there from like the 1st of April. But when I get out there, I want to finish the album there with some people that I've sort of been working with remotely. So yeah, have I said enough about it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Very appropriate for what's happening right now. Yeah. Yeah. I miss going to concerts. I miss feeling that music experience in person. But soon,
Yeah.
after a few more months, years, next year maybe, we'll see.
Have you been checking out anyone's Insta lives to help that feeling a bit?
A little bit. I've been watching. I've been randomly. JoJo's doing a lot. Tori Kelly's doing a lot. So I randomly pop into those. I know her is doing some.
She's the one.
Yeah, I saw her at Coachella. Was that last year? And it was just like she was so low key, but it was like my favorite performance of the whole event. It was just incredible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I saw her the same night that I saw J Hud. It was at a global global awards ceremony thing, and I got to see J Hud sing Hallelujah. She did a lot of it completely a cappella with no microphone, and managed to fill the entire Royal Albert Hall with her voice. And then Her came out, and I know what you mean, it's understated. It's not like, whoa, look at me, but you do stare at her, because you're like, you are a rock star. Yeah. Like, what, you can play anything. And Her, like every ad-lib just too much.
Yeah, she did the guitar solo to Purple Rain. It was so funny because she was on right before Ariana Grande, and all the like tweens were coming over because they didn't know who was singing, but they could like feel the power she had, and they were all like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "It's her, it's her." But I don't think they knew what I was, because her is a different name.
You're like, who is she? Why are you saying it's her?
But it was so funny watching him come over, because just how she makes you feel. She's incredible. Are you
Cool.
watching anyone? Well, maybe not this week, but
I've caught, I've caught the all three of the women that you've spoken about. I managed to sing with JoJo on one of her lives, which was amazing. Another thing that I can send you. And I'm I sort of like see, I don't like being on my phone. That's the thing. Like, we spend so much time on it for our jobs, you know, you as well. So
yes,
I just try to like not, but if there's someone important or like that's like, say if I'm the women that I follow and the guys, I follow Miguel, to name a few, Jessie J, I've forgotten, but if they're on live, I'm like, yo, I need to watch them.
yeah. Miguel, I haven't. What's Miguel up to? I need to check him out. I need to come back around to Miguel. Because it's been.
Married, didn't he?
Hmm. Well, cool. That's all the questions I have for you. This was such a fun conversation. I'm so glad we got to chat.
And also, I just wanted to say, like, happy Pride Month. And
Yes, yes.
yeah, it's a strange month, but we're bringing all the positivity to it because it should still be happy Pride Month.
Yes, it's a weird Pride month for sure. I do like that LA Pride at least is going back to Pride's roots kind of, and making it a march for Black lives. Like, that feels, you don't, as a Black man in the community, you don't always feel the most supported, but this definitely is a big statement. I think that Pride is saying we are supporting this and we're marching for Black people. Um, I think it's going to be powerful, and I think, yeah, we're doing, Pride.com is definitely doing their part in trying to, as much positivity and uplifting that we can, and like uplifting Black voices, Black queer voices. But
Yeah,
it's a weird time right now. We kind of had to derail a lot of our projects, just to be out of respect, you know. But yeah, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
remaining meeting time 9 minutes. Who's timing us?
Yeah, Zoom is like 40 minutes. Get off.
So funny. Are you familiar with a guy called Parker T. Hill?
Parker T. Hill. No, I'm not.
So he's someone that was on live recently. He's amazing, and he is from the LGBTQ community. He's a Black guy, and he was talking about how important Black queer lives are, and how important that in this movement they are mentioned as well. So there is a lot of goodness to be taken from this. So I hope that even though things are changing and they're not going to be as fun and as celebratory as we thought, we've got to extract the goodness and just make that grow.
Yes. And I have heard of Parker. I'm on his Instagram now. I'm like, oh yeah, I do know Parker. I just didn't know his name. We gotta get better at names. But yeah, I definitely.
Middle.
Say it again.
Is there a T in the middle?
Yes, Parker T. Hill. Yeah.
It's so mad how we know people's Insta names.
Yeah, it is. I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, you're, and then it's like some weird anime name, and I'm like. But yeah, it is weird. It's a strange feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think I love how the community is coming together for the movement happening right now. And I mean, I partied last year. Like, we can have a year of without parties and really focus on what's important, I think, and bring a party back next year.
Exactly. And you know what? When I'm allowed to fly in, I'm gonna bring the green top. We can have a party.
Yes, yes, yes. We can have our own party. Masks on.
Green mask to go with it.
Oh my gosh. I'll make one. I'll get my roommate to make one. He's making masks.